Hello, welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be continuing with the Dark Souls minis. These are the Hollow Crossbowmen, I think, yeah. Before we go into these, however, what I want to show you first are the Hollow Soldiers that we did previously. They are now finished. They're now based. And what I've done for the base is basically give it a coating or painting all over of Rhinox hide, and then dry brush. In fact, what I did first of all, give the put some mixed sand on the base, very fine sand and some clumpier sand. And then painted all of it with Rhinox hide, then give it a dry brush with Talent sand, and then finally another dry brush to pick out the bigger stones with Screaming Skull. So that's what we did for those. Now what I want to do is pick out the colours that we're going to be using for this miniature. All the miniatures we're doing today. Probably need that. Let's think. Don't want that one because I want to keep it with very dark-ish colours. I may have a slight difference with this one. Add a little difference in the colours that we use, but we'll see how we go. What did I use for that? Yeah, right, so I need not that one. Where have they all gone? Is that it? There we are. Right, so let's make a start, shall we? We may add colours too, we may not yet. But what we're going to start off with is Screaming Skull. Following that, we're going to have Warplock Bronze, Abaddon Black, Dawnstone, and this time Cantor Blue. Going to have a little bit of colour in this one. I may change my mind as time goes on. It happens. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But let's get on with it, shall we? Starting with the Screaming Skull. We'll pop some of this on our palette. And this, as you know from the last one, is for the on the skeletal bits of the mini, the skull, hands, legs, if we can see them, arms, etc. But it's time for silly hat. And let's have a proper look at these minis. So we do have skulls on display, we do have hands on display, but no legs. So that's all we need the Screaming Skull for. So let's get into it and get on. Oh dear. Now first bit of painting I've managed to do on camera it's today. It's Thursday evening. Thursday night actually. It's after 10 PM. I'm saying this is the first bit of painting. It's the first bit of painting I've had to do on camera. I've been able to do on camera. But I have been working on the on some of the Conan figures at the art club. Took them down with me on Tuesday and had a play about with them. So I've done the base coat on some of those. There's a lot of them I think there's 20 altogether, and don't worry, I have saved one to paint on camera, so you're not missing out on anything. But I wanted to get on the main body of them done, and I'm using the art club at the moment to get them done, so that it's not too much at home for me. And there I've got a, whatchamacallit, there I've got a couple of hours I can just paint without having to faff about with anything. So I thought, what the heck, I'll do that. Instead of painting pictures, I'll take my minis and paint some of those. I will, and I've just decided this now. The box is right behind me, so it's not as if I'm going to be hunting round, but I will in a moment. Well, a little bit later in this video rather. Actually get the ones I've done out and show you what I've got up to. Like I say, it's just the base colour as yet. There's no washes on them or anything. I'll do the washes at home so that they can be dry before I take them in and just do painting at the art club, because we only have 2 hours there, and I don't want the majority of that waiting for finger to dry. I'm just going to move this a bit further on because it's hanging off the table a bit too much. Yeah, so I'll take them out and show you what I've done, and while they're out I can give them a wash. But I'm quite happy with them. Can't remember what they're called, but I'm quite happy with them. They're kind of like, I think they're Revenant Warriors. I may be wrong on that, but not to worry. If I am, I am. If I'm not, I'm not. So I've got those in the process of being done. I've got these done, so the mini a week thing for the hashtag be a more thing is going ahead. We're progressing. I mean, I've not done as much as I was hoping to do this week because I've been quite busy, even though I've not been at the studio this week and last week. I just haven't had time to do much, to be honest. One day I was out with Ali and Mum. We went to Port Sunlight near Liverpool, which is nice. It's actually a village that was made to house workers in the Lever Brothers, which is now Unilever company, the Lever Brothers factory, and the wife of Lord Lever, Lady Lever, surprisingly enough, had an art gallery built, and we went there and had a look at some really stunning paintings and furniture. There's not just paintings there, there's furniture and sculpture as well. I put a few of the pictures up on Facebook, but I'll add a few up here so you can have a look at the kind of things that we saw there. It's a fascinating place. You can actually go around one of the old houses to see what they were like at that time. I must admit, it brought back a few things that I recognised from staying with my gran, or staying overnight at my gran's, and I recognise a few things from what my auntie used to have as well, my auntie being my gran's sister. So there's a few things I recognised from that anyway. But it was a really lovely day out. I enjoyed it anyway. Right, next I'm going to have the Warplock bronze, and this is going to go over everything that is metal. So we need a little bit of that on our palette. This looks like it could be another paint that I need to replace a lot of paint at the moment. I'm going to have to go through and find out which ones I do need to replace and start working on that. Another thing I wanted to mention, I am working on starting a Patreon page. I've decided to go over and have a try at it, see how it goes. So I have actually signed up to Patreon now, and hopefully with your help I can get this channel doing a lot more and a lot better, but time will tell. So we'll see how it goes. So it's not ready yet. As I say, I've only just signed up to it. I just need to work out a few things. So if anybody has any suggestions, let me know. It's brand new to me. I don't know exactly what to do, what to say on it. So if anybody can offer, as I say, any suggestions on it, then please, please, please feel free to. So I just want to make this a much more successful channel. We are approaching now, we're about 150 or so subscribers away from 2,000. So I'm looking as well to add a bit of a giveaway for when we reach 2,000. It's also approaching our fifth, I'm going to say 90th then, our 5th anniversary of the Spider's Web. That'll be on the 9th of November. So I've got an idea of something that I'd like to try on the 9th of November. If it works, we can do it a little more often. It's something I've attempted in the past and not had much success with, or any success with, to be honest. So I want to try and see if I can get it running this time. Me and technology sometimes don't see eye to eye. So I can't promise anything, but I'm trying my best. So here, I say we're working on covering anything that's going to be metal, and this just involves the chainmail shirt that he's wearing under here. I'm going to go under there as well because a little bit of texture looks like chainmail there. Some of these little holes I'm not going to highlight because I don't really see the need to. They look metallic as it is, so there's not much point in highlighting them as metallic. One thing I will need to do is metallic. There's these areas because, as far as I'm concerned, they are metallic. It's like a support thing for the wood, so it doesn't have to. So the actual string or rope twangy bit doesn't what should we call it? Doesn't snap the wood. So we've got the metal braces there to hold the cross piece on. I may be wrong, but that's how I'm seeing it. What's happening in my mind's eye, so if that's what's happening in my mind's eye, I'm correct. Whether technically I am or not is another matter. But that's the story I'm telling myself. And oh dear. Sorry about the breathing again. Chest is a little tight at the moment. Yeah, so I've had a bit of a busy week. As I was saying earlier, went to Port Sunlight on the Monday. Tuesday I was at the club. And a little bit of discomfort on Tuesday, so I didn't paint anything when I got home, and then I was up at Steen and Eaters for D&D. At the moment, the one we're doing with Steve is just paused for a week or two because Scragger is away through work. So Ben is actually running one. It was going to be a one-off, but it was just so silly, we enjoyed it that much that we decided to continue it. So whenever Scragger's not going to be there, then we're going to do the one with Ben. But it's not being filmed, this one, because it's Ben's first time as a DM and he wasn't very confident at doing it, so I wasn't going to put the extra pressure on by having the camera there. So you're not going to see this one, unfortunately, but it is fun. Hopefully Scragger will be there a week on Tuesday. He's away again on this Tuesday coming, so we're carrying on with Ben's. What was I say? Fingers crossed. A week on Tuesday, he will be back. Yeah, so that's what happened on Tuesday. Yesterday I was at my dad's. When I got back it was fairly late because I went to my dad's and was there till about 8 o'clock-ish. Then we went to Alice to sort the cats out. Then we came back here. And I wasn't really in the mood for painting anything because this morning I had a retinopathy scan test. Recently been diagnosed as diabetic. You have to have these scans every year, and this morning was my first one, so I was a bit worried about that because I'd never had one before, and I'm quite uncomfortable with anything going near my eyes, so but that was done, and got home. Didn't really affect my far vision, but my close vision was impaired, but we did manage to get to watch the movie of Dan Brown's Inferno this afternoon. Really enjoyed that one. I do enjoy his books. I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the story. Maybe nothing, factual in them, but that's why you watch fiction and read fiction. There's some things that could be based in facts, there's other things that aren't. And I couldn't care less which is which. As long as it's a decent story and I enjoy it, that's all that matters for me. So, yeah, I'm just carry on with this. I think that is all for the metal. I mean, if we're going over anything that isn't metal, as you know, I can always go over it again with what do you call it, with other colours, because they are acrylic paints. So that's that. And yep, I think that's everything. Next, what we're going to be using is Dawnstone. Now this is not very different from the paint that we used to prime this, so you may not see a big difference with where it's going, but as it stands, I need just that little bit of grey on this. So I'm going to put this on the trousers. I'm just wondering whether or not that is burr leg. If so, I need to come back. Because it doesn't look as though this is skeletal, like the hollow soldiers. So I may be painting more rotted flesh than actual skeleton bone. Yeah. Now I've decided I will need another colour, because I'm not going to have trousers the same colour as the shirt on this one. I'm not seeing this as like a one piece, I'm seeing it as two different items of clothing that he's wearing. So what I'm going to do is think of another colour that I can use and add that as well. In fact, I think I might go back to one we used on the first ones, which was Eshin Grey. I think I might add that one into this palette that we're doing, and that way it will give a little bit of uniformity. So I've just caught the leg there. I don't need to wipe it off, but I have done. I could just let it dry, but in doing so I'd have to wait until it was completely dry before I actually did the leg, and then it might give a different shade. To what the rest of the leg is, so I decided to wipe it off for that particular reason, because next we're going to be digging into or delving into the next layer of paint. As I say, we've changed it slightly. I've decided that it is actually a burr leg, and it's not quite what's the word I'm looking for? It's not quite skeletal, but it's not fresh flesh either. I would say it's sort of like rotted flesh. That's there, so we want a colour. There is a hair there. If he's doing mine, so you can see where it's going from now. There we are, gone. So that is what we're doing, so I just need to find an appropriate colour for that. And I'll do that next. Don't want that one. Where are you? Now I did have a colour which would be perfect and I can't find it now. No, 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 no. Nope. 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 No, no. Nope. I do want that though. I do want that as well. Tell you what, let's use that one. The one I've decided to pick out is Ushabti-bone. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of this to the palettes. And into this we're going to be adding a touch, and I mean a touch, of Lauren Forest. In fact, I've just found the one that I wanted to use, Nurgling Green. So I'm going to use that one instead. Right, it's gone, that's why I put it to one side. There's not much of it left. I'll put it to one side because of that. Alright. Let's give it a try, see if it works. If it doesn't, I'll go to my original idea. So we'll go into the Nurgling Green. And we'll just add bits of this to the mini. Oh, I don't have getting itchy noses when I'm trying to do certain things, and it's annoying me. Yeah, the Ushabti-bone might come in useful for something a little later. We don't know yet. As I said, this was the colour I was looking for and don't have much of now, so there we go. one done. There is enough for me to do this. As I say, I can't really get away with doing skeleton, like a skeleton effect on this because there is flesh on it. As you can see, the muscle, there's a little bit of muscle tone there, but it doesn't look as though it's trousers. It looks as though it is a log of flesh, so bare leg. So that being the case, we've done it as though the top part has completely rotted away, but the bottom part is still in that stage of decomposition. Again, I may be wrong, but that's the story I'm making up for myself. If that's the story that's in my head, then I'm right. No matter what anybody else says. He. So that is the legs done, almost. Just making sure that it's all covered. It's not too thickly and washing everything out because it is quite a watery paint this now. There we go. And that's that done.